If you ask the average American basic questions about how the world works, it's shocking how little they know. 25% of Americans don't know that the Earth revolves around the sun. I wouldn't get too haughty about it. Canadians don't do much better. They may do a little better, I don't know. But people around the world have this kind of problem, right? 50% of Americans don't know that antibiotics kill bacteria, not viruses. I mean, we can go on and on like this. Talk show hosts love this kind of thing, right? They go up to people on the street and ask them to name the vice president. They can't do it. Only 43% of Americans can name a Supreme Court justice. I don't know if that's a lot or a little, but so this is a phenomenon that is not new, right? It's not that people used to be brilliant and now they're stupid. In 1943, only 25% of college freshmen knew that Abraham Lincoln was president during the Civil War. So I think what we're talking about here is a basic fact about the human mind. We don't retain facts like this because we don't understand mechanisms. Oklahoma State did a survey a while ago, and it turns out over 80% of Americans support the labeling of genetically modified foods as produced with genetic engineering. That's reasonable, right? We should be transparent about what we're eating. We all should know what we're eating. That's fine. 80% of Americans also supported the mandatory labels on foods containing DNA. There aren't that many foods that don't contain DNA, right? I can think of multivitamins and Twinkies. I'm not even sure about Twinkies. That's about it. So it makes this belief kind of suspect, I would say, right? It's not based on a deep understanding of what their policy position is. So unfortunately, this applies to politics too. In fact, I believe it applies to politics in spades. And I believe it's a big part of the reason that the conversation south of the border, and if you go to my parents' living room north of the border, is as heated as it is, right? I mean, people just can't speak to one another these days. And many Thanksgiving dinners were broken up by virtue of the fact that people can't talk effectively and constructively about the political situation. So this is a quote that has traditionally been attributed to Mark Twain, but my sources tell me it was Maurice Switzer. My sources are Google. It is better to remain silent at the risk of being thought a fool than to talk and remove all doubt of it. Someone told me that Winston Churchill didn't actually say this, although in a sense it doesn't really matter. The idea is there. The best argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter. People have been aware of the ignorance of the electorate for a long, long time. And people have been aware that this ignorance leads to a kind of extremism, right?